What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are more than just entertainment. They're a catalyst for meaningful conversations. I'm Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang. And most weeks we dive into movies to watch in preparation for a new release hitting theaters. But we don't stop there. We talk about the deeper ideas, the life lessons, and the morals that these films have to offer. This week we're talking about a Minecraft movie. This looks to be a lot of fun. I know the boys all played Minecraft at one point or another, so we're really looking forward to this movie. In order to gear up for it, we watched the Lego movie, Pixels, and Free Guy. Three movies that I felt like were part of that same type of style and genre. And so we had a lot of fun watching those. So that's what our discussion will be like today. We hope you'll jump over to our website and see all of our links. It's bio.site/movies that make you. That's bio.site/movies that make you. There you'll find all of our links to our Instagram, to each podcast stream, whether it's Apple or Spotify. You'll also find our Letterboxd link, which highlights the lists of movies that make you laugh, movies that make you cry, movies that make you scream, and everything in between. Before we dive into this week's episode, though, let's take a look at the next 4 weeks on the Movies That Make You podcast. Next week, we're doing a one-off episode not tied to a release in theaters for Michael Bay. Grayson's going to be back on the episode. He joined us for our Nosferatu Prepisode, but he's going to be on the episode talking about all the Michael Bay films that he's seen and what they've meant to him. The week after that, we're going to have our good friend Coach Nick back on the episode. We're going to be talking about Ryan Coogler films. He's got a new movie called Sinners that's dropping in theaters that week, featuring Michael B. Jordan. So we're going to talk about three of his previous films, including Fruitvale Station, Creed, and Black Panther. The week after that, we're going to be prepping for Andor Season 2. I know most of the time we're talking about movies, but we've got Scott Raymond going to be back on the show. He wants to talk Star Wars. I don't have a problem with that, so we're going to talk about it that week in preparation for one of the best Star Wars series that Disney has put out. The week after that, we're going to be prepping for Thunderbolts. This is the second Marvel movie coming out this year, and it features a whole bunch of the side characters all teaming up to stop a villain. Looks like a lot of fun. So we watched a few Marvel movies where these characters were introduced, and we had a lot of fun with those, and we'll talk through all of the Marvel stories that we can on that episode. Hope those episodes excite you. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast.
We are back with another Movies That Make You ... podcast. Today we are talking about movies that make you game. I'm Zeke, and I'm the youngest. We're going from oldest to youngest.
And I am Dad. My name's Sprang.
I'm Connor, and I'm 15.
I'm Colton, and I'm 12.
Very nice. Thank you, Zeke, for the intro. And yes, we are talking about movies that make you game, movies that make you play, movies that make you have a good time. And that is because of what movie?
Minecraft.
Yes.
Yeah!
Before we jump into the movies we're going to talk about today, are you excited for the Minecraft movie? Colton, you go first.
Definitely. I've been waiting a long time for this. 7-8 years?
I mean, I play part of it now, but now I've moved on to Roblox, which has Dandy's World, but I'm not allowed to play it because of the restrictions.
Connor, what about you?
Wait, what was the question?
Are you excited for the new Minecraft movie?
Yeah, I think people are hating on it for no reason.
I know, right?
It looks cool, but people are just hating on it.
I have one thing I saw. In all the trailers from the Minecraft movie, I've never seen anything about the Ender Dragon or any, bosses. All I see is, mining and, villagers. So, if there's no bosses, there's kind of no point to the movie.
There's no story to the mining, so they're not going to make a movie about the mining. They're going to make a movie about the story, and it's just going to use these characters. But I do think they're probably going to have the Ender Dragon and stuff in there, because that's, the most epic piece of the whole game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think the side antagonists might be the piglins, because they were definitely a very big antagonist in the trailer. And I also think the Ender Dragon might be the main antagonist. Steve is a duotagonist.
How do you mean?
He's the second in line, like Steve, because he's like, I am Steve!
Did he say it that way in the trailer?
I am Steve.
Yes, that's how he said it. That was great.
Yeah, and the main protagonists might be the people we saw in the trailer who weren't Steve.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. So Aquaman is in there, and some other folks. I wasn't fully aware of what their names were, but I definitely know that they have been in other movies and stuff. Connor, what are you looking forward to most about the movie?
I don't know. Probably the graphics. I want to see because on the trailers they look pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. To take that kind of very blocky 8-bit style game and make it with very high quality graphics. It looks like you'd expect it to look like, but like with high def graphics. So it's kind of a fun piece. The main characters that we've seen in the trailer is Danielle Brooks, Myers, Sebastian Hansen, and Jason Momoa. And then Jack Black pops in as Steve there at the end. But it looks like there's some other folks that are in it. They don't have their character names on IMDb, which means that they're trying to keep that a secret. So, Zeke, what are you most looking forward to about the movie?
I'm looking forward to pigs, and definitely Jason Momoa's humor, because he was talking with the sheep, and he was like, "Hey, what is up, bro? How are you doing?" And then the side characters are just like, "Dude, you can't talk to him. He's not speaking to you." And then he's like, "Shh, we're talking."
Nice. That is funny.
So
He does have a good sense of humor for sure. Colton, favorite part you're excited for?
I'm Steve,
You're excited for I Am Steve? Okay. Well, I Am Sprang, and my album drops tomorrow. My new EP drops tomorrow. So 4-song EP. Yes, go check it out, iamsprang.com. So if you want to listen to music, it'd be great. Thank you very much. So let's kind of do a quick check-in before we jump into the movies that we're going to talk about today. Zeke, how's your week been?
My week's been good. So there was one thing I wanted to talk about, was that I'm excited for the talent show, and my week has been so far really amazing. So yeah.
Cool. Connor, how about you?
It's been going good. I sold my bike so I could get a 3D printer, and Zeke thought the idea to make movies that make you like character. And I was thinking about putting them right there, maybe.
Yeah.
And the printer is also gonna be right there soon. So
if you want to buy them.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
they're going for $20.
That is something actually that we're going to talk about too this weekend. Is we're going to design some T-shirts to sell on the website. So be thinking of ideas of what you'd want to put on a T-shirt.
It's a black T-shirt. Movies that make you white, but then the text is black. And then on the back, it's in cursives. I am Sprang.
We can see if we can make that work. Connor, you said you sold your bike. You're going to do the 3D printer thing. Yeah.
yeah.
3D.
What else are you excited to 3D print?
I don't know. I can make some fidget toys. Zeke wanted some stuff. I can also make Lego stuff because I do.
Can I make stuff?
Yeah.
Can you make me a fidget cube?
Well, might cost. It won't cost that much. It'll cost some.
Yeah.
I'll pay 50
You
cents.
have to pay for the materials.
Yeah.
50 cents for a fidget cube.
Okay.
Colton, how about your week? How's it going?
Good. I kind of joined the Fufu Alliance, so that's great.
What is this?
I bought land from the what's it called? Let me finish. The Aki, not Aki, So I joined Fufu Land, and at first I bought a 20% of the Sohan land, and I from the Revi Alliance, and I joined Fufu Land. And my plan is I'm gonna make medicine and drugs, but not like bad drugs, like good drugs. So drugs that have toxic stuff in them, so we can drop them on the Revi Alliance, so we can do mass damage. And they kind of bombed our planes, so we have to, because it's all out war now, so there's no going back. Like the Fufu Land is like a small little country, and we just started, so we don't have that much earnings. The Revi Alliance is like, think about this: the U.S. versus Greece.
Greece? Okay.
So think about that. It's going to be super hard to fight them off, but with the new medicine and the Death Star, I think we can.
Won't they get a bit suspicious if you're giving them free medicine?
I'm on their side.
I thought you were trying to attack somebody with the medicine.
No, they use the medicine, put them in their planes, and drop them. Because it's toxic.
What?
That's what Connor is saying.
But the medicine is toxic.
Medicine.
So I'm dropping it on the Revi Alliance.
So they'll eat it?
It drops. It's a glass. It's a glass like this. It drops, it breaks, it releases toxic stuff.
Like a bomb.
Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
but like it's a toxic bomb.
Why are you calling it medicine?
So chemical warfare.
Because I make medicine, and that's one of my things that I make. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the main producer of medicine.
Okay, Oppenheimer.
Okay, so before we move on, what game is this?
Game.
So all my friends came up and they made their own countries. My country name is Cavalier, as in the Juice WRLD song. So we all made our own countries,
It's
and
on a
then
slideshow.
we formed the Revy Alliance, and we formed Fufu Land, which is comprised of Major.
Where are you doing this?
It's a slideshow. It's imaginative. It's not real.
Okay, gotcha. I thought it was some video game or something that you were playing, like on your phone or something. You're just imagining this game and playing together.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And guys, don't tell anybody, but that was a lie. I'm actually a spy, because this is what happened. I was with my friends, and I said I was breaking away from the country that I bought from and joining Fufu Land, but for the whole time, I've just been spying on Fufu Land and gaining intel and bringing it back to the Revy Alliance.
That sounds like trouble. So if you're listening and you're on the Fufu Land, be sure to take Colton out. Okay?
No!
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. That sounds like a lot of fun, y'all. My week's been going well. Work's going well. Podcast is getting traffic, and excited for my music coming out. So should be exciting. Got a lot of posts scheduled this week to kind of promote it. When it comes out, check it out on Spotify, on Apple Music, download it on iTunes, buy it from Amazon Prime, listen to it on Amazon Music. It's everywhere. So definitely give us a shout out if you do get it. I am Sprang.music on Instagram and IamSprang.com. You can see all the other things that I have going on, including the podcast. And that's kind of where we're going to actually host some of our merch. We're going to do some t-shirts, maybe a hat, maybe a mug. I don't know. The kids are going to design some merch and we're going to sell it and see if anybody wants it. So
Yeah. I think they'll want the character. I had to design it first.
I do know we have a big group of loyal fans. So, guys, you've been wanting this to come out for over a year, and we have decided to do a big move. We're gonna make statues. We're gonna make
One.
one
we're gonna
specific
make
statue.
one.
We're gonna make one. Oh, is it only? Oh, we can't mass produce it.
No, we can't mass
No,
produce it
we're
yet.
not Tom Thumb.
Appreciate you sharing all that. And then, so let's just jump into the movies. The movies that we're going to talk about today for Minecraft movie are Pixels with Adam Sandler. We're going to talk about the Lego movie with Chris Pratt playing Emmett. And we're also going to talk about Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. I felt like those three movies are in the same type of style of movie that the Minecraft movie is trying to be. And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of revisit those and have a conversation about those and see what we thought. All right. So, Colton, you want to give us a rundown of the Lego movie?
This is the one that I can't.
Okay.
There was too much happening. I can't do that. Zeke
This
got
is
it.
my time. This is my time, Dad.
Can you do it succinctly?
Okay, I can
Okay.
do this. Okay, so there's this guy called Emmett. He starts off his day normally, but when he's finished with work, everything is awesome. He meets this woman. This woman is looking for the special. And rewind for a few thousand years. There's this guy, President Business. And then this guy, a mage, he speaks of this prophecy. And then President finds the Craggle. No! And anyways, Emmett is now like, I should touch the red thing, which is the special. And then they go to Western Spaghetti. They go to a Western place and they meet the old guy there, the one who's blind. He can't see.
I think that's
And
what
then
blind
they
means.
go into Emmett's mind. Wow! And yeah, then they're like, freeze, put your hands in the air, idiots. And then, yeah, they go to Cloud Cuckoo Land. And then it gets destroyed. No! And then they meet Unikitty. Wow! And Batman. Wow!
And Shaquille O'Neal.
and Lord Metalbeard. And then they hatch this plan to break into Lord Business's house, which is a skyscraper. And then Emmett dies. Wait, he's not dead. And then the old guy dies. Oh no! And then he goes into the real world. And then he sees the man upstairs. Not God. Elf appears. Wait, that's not Elf. That's the actor from Elf. Wow! And then he hugs his son. And then everything's awesome!
And what happens to Emmett when he gets back into the Lego?
He becomes a master builder. Wow!
Up until that point, what was he?
He was an instruction
Follower.
follower.
Yeah.
He used instructions. and like, yeah, wow, everything is awesome.
And then they take down the bad guys and all their Kraggles.
Craggle. Oh, the Craggle.
Yeah. Good. Nice description.
Taco Tuesday.
Cool. All right. So, Connor, what do you remember about seeing Lego Movie, and what's your favorite part?
I don't remember when I saw it. Last time I remember it, I know I saw it before this, but last time I remember it, we were at your old house, and I think we watched it. And what's my favorite part? What a bunch of hippy dippy baloney.
Baloney.
Yes, you say that. You say that sometimes in real life. That's like the one quote I've heard you say a bunch from this movie,
Because it makes
and that's like in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Colton?
The first time I watched this movie was...
You don't have to remember.
I don't have to remember, so I'm just gonna say sometime in 2019, but like I know we definitely watched it like two or 3 weeks ago.
So what did you remember? Like, so when I say what did you remember it? So it's a movie that has resonated with you guys. Like, it's one that you liked and one you remembered it, even when, though you don't remember when you saw it.
I remember like watching it, and I remember everything about it before we watched like a couple weeks ago. I just forgot when I watched it.
That's okay. My
But, like-
question is, what stood out about it from when you watched it like a long time ago to where it still resonated with you, because it's like you still remembered it. So it's more than just a movie you saw. It's a movie that kind of made an impact and like stuck in your memory. That's kind of what I mean.
Well, that's
so what do you
hard.
think about it that made it stick to your brain?
I think it's dreams. I think you know that tall guy with the like president. I think, I don't know.
Okay,
President Business.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, President Business. Like I have so many dreams about him walking around in his big legs.
that's crazy.
So weird. No.
So you just dream about Lego and Lord Business all the time?
Yeah, mostly in fever dreams though.
Okay. Connor, kind of the same question. What is it about the movie that like resonated with you because it's one that you've talked about or that you like? Like, what was it that stuck with you?
I think it was the animation at the time. I thought it was really good. Probably the jokes.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say one thing about the animation, because Colton, you asked about this, but they made it look like it was stop motion animation. And for those of you that are watching and don't know what that is, stop motion animation is when what they used to do back before they had computers, and they would do puppets, and they would set the puppet up or the model, and they'd set the model up and they'd have it sit in one position, and then they'd take a picture, and then they'd move it, take another picture, and move it, take another picture. Like Star Wars, all the like the beasts from the original Star Wars movies were all stop motion animation. So it was the way that they animated things in live action, so where they could kind of act with it and things like that. But it is a little choppy because you can kind of tell that it's not moving at the full range of motion that a human does. But there's also a very strong.
Did you throw out gang signs?
I know that's what.
I'm not doing that. I'm giving an example.
Okay, I
Of what
didn't
it
know
looks
what you
like.
were doing. Okay, so but even to this day, there's a very strong cult group of movie makers that still make stop motion animation. And even up until the last 5 years, there's been those stop motion animation movies that have been up for Oscars and up for Best Picture and things like that. So like Corpse Bride is one that's a stop motion animation. Coraline's a stop motion animation. Norman, I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but that's a stop motion. Frankenweenie is a stop motion animation. So there's this Box Trolls. Did you guys ever see Box Trolls?
I've heard about it. I have not seen it though.
That's another stop motion animation, and it's really, really beautiful when they do it right. And so that's pretty cool. But Lego Movie was not stop motion; it was 100% CG animated. But because they wanted it to feel like a kid playing with toys, and the boxiness of that they made all the animation look like that, and it looked amazing. I remember the first time watching it and seeing like when they, Cuckoo Land is destroyed and they fall in the water and you see all the waves, and just the way that they animated the Lego waves was just, it looked exactly like it would look. It was mind blowing. So that's a cool call out. Zeke, what about you? What's the thing that resonated with the movie that made it stick in your brain for so long?
All of the pyrotechnics, they were all Lego, except for that giant laser one time. That one was not things. Just how do they do that in Lego? Like, you can just like make a fire and like smoke and like a gray mixed with red. How do you do that? I'm genuinely curious. Oh, yeah.
Well, they
Just
used
all the
computers.
pyrotechnics.
They
All
used
the
computers.
pyrotechnics.
So you're saying basically the animation is cool too.
Animation is cool, yeah, but
The explosions look really cool. Animation, I think we all agree the animation. All right, so favorite part of the movie. I know Connor, you already said that the one line from Lord Business is epic.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Colton? Favorite part, favorite moment?
Bunch of hippy dippy baloney. Well, that part, like, I used to say it a lot, so like kind of resonates, but like I don't have any other part that stands out and I can remember it clearly. So I just
Okay.
say bunch of hippy dippy baloney, you know?
What about you, Zeke?
one of my favorite parts was when Unikitty was just like, forget it.
Yeah.
And then just destroyed everything. It was so stinking cool.
Yeah.
What a bunch of hippy dippy baloney.
All right. Everybody likes that line. It's a good line. It's a good line. I have to say, I think my favorite part of the movie was definitely the water scene. I thought that was just incredible. What would you say the moral of the story is? I see you, Colton, but I'm going to let Connor go first.
Don't be a bot.
Can you explain that for our audience?
Yeah, like, don't do, like, the same thing every single day.
So don't be a bandwagon.
Yeah, try, like, something new. Try to build something new.
Okay. I like that. What about you, Colton?
I would say let your kids play with their Legos.
Okay. That's there. Obviously, that's there. Yeah. What about you, Zeke? What do you think, like, the moral is?
The moral is
He's smiling. I already know something's about to
the
happen.
moral is don't be one of those parents who wants everything to have order, respect, and most of all, the most horrendous thing, being a bologna sandwich.
Okay.
Bologna
All right.
sandwiches are good.
That was silly. Here's what I would say. Those are all good answers because they're in the movie, and that's something you can take from it for sure. So I think for me the biggest thing is that Emmett was not special at all. He wasn't born with any abilities. He wasn't born with anything special in him from the movie standpoint, from the story standpoint, but he became special later on. And I think for us, that's how it fits. A lot of times we don't feel like there's anything special about us. There's nothing special inside of us. And what Emmett is showing us is that we don't have to have been born with something to become something great. There's nothing that has to be born inside of us that makes us some special character for us to have a meaningful life and for us to make a difference in the world. So that's all I wanted to say.
Right on.
Right
Okay.
on.
Yeah, right on. Yep. That's it. That's amen for church people. Right on.
Right on.
Yeah. All right, Connor, rate it. What's your rating for the Lego movie?
5.
Okay.
What, 5?
Colton?
4.5.
Zeke, how about you?
It wasn't that great, to be honest. It's like 4. It's like a 4.
Are you joking with me right now?
I just figured something out. Every one that me and Connor and you like, Zeke does not like. But the ones that me, Connor, and you don't like, or like give it like 3.5, Zeke gives it a 5.
Yeah, it's true. Except for that one time where you and Zeke both gave it like 3s.
Oh yeah,
and
I
all
give
the
it
older
2.
kids gave it 4.5. Zeke, really? You're giving it a 3.5?
He said 4.
I mean,
You for-
it's old. Actually, yeah,
So you
4 is
don't
good.
like it.
Okay. I'll give it a 5. I'm with Connor.
It's
a
not
5.
that low. It's at least like a C+.
It was
would
up
be
for an
nice.
Oscar, so it won the Oscar that year. So it's objectively a great movie. So I'm sorry that you feel that way. All right, Colton, next movie, Free Guy.
So the next movie is Free Guy. Anybody like to run it down?
I thought you were, because
I know, but like if anybody wants to do it, they can. Zeke, you want to do it? Well, that's too bad because I want to do it. So at the start, there's this NPC, or as other people know it as a bot. So he does the same routine.
Sorry, it's non-player character.
Non-playable character.
Okay. So this NPC, aka a non-playable character, is like he does the same routine every single day in this game, and all the people with sunglasses are the cool ones, and they're It's kind of like GTA if you ever played. Like the guys with the sunglasses are like the characters, and then the NPCs are like the NPCs. So one time he sees the girl, and then he like breaks his script and becomes AI.
I was just saying that's a big jump because that's not revealed till the end.
He becomes sentient, I think.
Well,
It's
no,
okay.
because he, instead of just doing the bank robbery, he goes outside
Yeah.
and follows her. So then he follows her. She's like, "What are you doing?" And then I'm pretty sure he gets killed. So then the next day he wakes up, same thing happens. He goes to coffee and stuff. And then this time he's fighting the dude. He decides he doesn't want to be NPC anymore. So he grabs the dude's shotgun and starts fighting him, and it takes his glasses. So now he sees all these things start leveling up, and then he follows the girl again to this like military base thing on Majig that she's trying to raid, and then they go to her bunker thing, and he can't get any of the guns, so he decides he wants to be a good guy and help people for levels, and then he levels up to like level 100, and then he's like insane. So Dan TDM's talking about him. Jacksepticeye, Laserbeam, all these famous YouTubers are talking about them. But like, there's this one bad guy who doesn't like Guy and wants to like destroy everything. So that's all happening in real life. But in the game, he keeps on leveling up, but the bad guy decides he wants to make an update and completely change the game and get rid of all the characters and get rid of Guy. So they start adding characters while Guy is making girlfriend with girl. I forgot her name. And then they're like girlfriend. And then she realizes that the bad guy is going to do this update. So they have 48 hours to stop him. And then she tells him, the NPC, that he's fake and he's not real. And if my friends would have said that, I would slap. Personally, the guy would not take that, so he walks away, and then he realizes he's just a non-playable character. Then, skip forward a little bit because I forgot the rest. And then, the bad guy breaks everything, and then adds Dude. Yeah, he adds Dude. And Dude has catchphrase.
You seem.
They fight.
Adjective.
It's a pretty cool fight. And then the guy takes his glasses off, gives it to Dude, and Dude sees everything, just starts running around and stuff. And then the bad guy decides he wants to break every server. So he starts breaking them, and then Guy runs across the bridge, and he's running, and then the police cop, he gets left behind, and he dies. So after that, he makes it to the island, and then the bad guy decides he gives all the servers to the girl, and then she makes her
Just
own world.
those servers, not the future iterations of the game. Just the servers with that island on it.
Yeah. So he gives it to her, and then she makes her own world out of it, and the game's restored again.
Friendly gesture. Yes, it was funny.
That's not what it said.
Friendly gesture.
Okay. Good one, Zeke. Good one, Zeke. Oh, anybody like favorite parts? Connor?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite part, but I have a comment.
Wait, if you're not going to give a favorite part, you can wait. After Zeke's turn and Jonathan's turn, you can go with your comment. Zeke, how about you go? Favorite part?
My favorite part is, Dad, you seem adjective.
Adjective? Like adjective? Like something that describes a verb?
You
Is that what
seem-
an adjective does? I'm insane.
No, it describes a noun. And don't say then it should just be called an adnoun, because you're not the first person to ever say that, and it's not what it's called. It's called an adjective.
Adnoun.
And because the code for Dude had not been fully baked, they didn't have actual adjectives in his vocabulary yet. So his script was just, adjective here. Friendly gesture, because he didn't have any vocabulary. So, yeah, that was a
So
funny
was that
part.
your favorite part?
Dude was definitely a funny part. That was your favorite part?
Just so you know, Aaron B. Reed is the person who plays Dude, and wow, he's buff.
Yep.
Like, that's not even like a costume. That's like actual muscles.
Yep. And then they put Ryan Reynolds' face on him.
Jonathan, what is your favorite part of this movie?
Oh, man, that's tough. So many funny parts. But I think my favorite part was when he tried to rally. He had to rally everybody that was NPCs. He had figured it out along the way, but then he had to try and figure out a way to break down the servers, and so they rallied everybody and said, "We're all going to go on strike, basically, and we're all just going to try and protect what we have." Yeah, and that was a cool speech, and he got all the other NPCs to recognize they could make their own choices too.
Connor, what was your comment?
I thought this was like a bit mature for a PG-13.
I was.
There's a lot of jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot of adult humor. One F-bomb, which is surprising.
I think there were
there's multiple
two.
F-bombs.
You're allowed two in the PG-13, and yes, there was a lot of suggestive jokes too. But it's still within the parameters of PG-13. It's just more of a little bit older PG-13 movie. So, but we'd seen it before. We went to the theater and saw it.
So,
Can we
anybody
just-
have any ideas or thoughts?
You didn't say your favorite part.
My favorite part is when dude is leveling up and being a kind guy.
That's
Dude or guy?
Guy.
Both.
All right. Any thoughts or ideas on the movie? Jonathan?
Yeah, I think that it's very interesting that it's pretty much Lego Movie. It's an NPC, it's a bot, like just going through the motions. He sees a girl, meets a girl, and like leaves his life and follows this new path. And then he becomes like the most epic of all epic NPCs, and the whole world is watching him. And then he saves the world. The one thing I did want to mention too was like the main plot point of the real world was that Jodie Comer, who played Millie was the girl that was in real life. Her and another guy, Keys, had designed this AI world that was in the background of this huge, massive multiplayer online game that Antoine built, and he stole their idea and hid it behind basically behind the scenes. And so they were trying to spend the whole movie trying to figure out, can we see that world? Can we find that he used that, because there's a lawsuit? So this is all the real world stuff. And then at the end, that's the trick, was that they figured it out. They found that he was using the world. And so he was going to lose everything to her in court. And that's when she said, well, just give me my world again. And so that's where he left that one server that had her island on it. And the island was building life itself. It was growing. Everything in it was becoming AI, like Colton, you mentioned at the beginning. And that's what they finally realized with Guy, was that he was building new experiences and actually growing as a person in the AI, not just going through the code and just replicating the code that was written for him. He was writing new code for himself and expanding his brain and his heart and all that stuff. And so that's how they figured out that the AI was in the background, and how they found it. So that's cool.
Anybody else? Guess it's time to rate it then.
Can I go?
How about we do oldest to youngest?
I gave it 4.5.
I gave it a 4.5.
Zeke, it's your
You're
turn.
next, Colton.
Colton, you're...
Well, I'm like the host, so you know.
But you're also the
You're
next,
not the host, Dad.
Next to hold us. He's hosting this segment.
Fine. I give it a 4.5.
I also give it a 4.5.
Look at that. You're on the
Yay,
horn.
me.
Everybody did it.
The 4.5s. I need to stretch real quick.
movie. Or
The next movie is Pixels. It's PG-13. It was made in 2015, and it has Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and Josh Gad, to name a few. Anybody want to describe the movie? Jonathan?
Yeah. All right. So it starts out, and there's these kids, and they're playing video games. It's the first time they've ever been to an arcade. And this one kid, Brenner, just destroys all the games and beats them all the first time he's ever played them. So then they take him to this tournament, and he's beating everybody at this tournament. He gets to the final stage against this other dude that's a real jerk. His name's Eddie. And he loses in the final round to Eddie. Flash forward, they're now adults, and Brenner is a tech guy that works for a thing like Geek Squad from Best Buy. His best friend, Will, is president of the United States. And then their buddy Ludlow is just a nobody, like a roamer, just running around. Eddie is still a pretty big jerk as an adult too. But what they find out is, I forgot to mention, after they've played their tournament, a video game tournament in the 80s, they attached the recording of that and put it in a time capsule that they then shot off into space to try and give aliens a chance to get to know humans so that they don't come and destroy them. Flash forward. Now we're in 2015, and the aliens have showed up, and they've all created all of those video game villains for real, and they're going to take out the Earth. And they've given Earth 3 lives before they take over the planet, and so they have to call on these 4 guys and the girl to try and protect Earth by using their skills at the video games, the 80s video games, including things like Pac-Man, Centipede, Joust, all these amazing video games from the 80s. Space Invaders, of course, and Galaga. So they used all their skills to take down the aliens, and they ended up saving the day. But it took them a long time to do it. They didn't destroy all the aliens, but they ended up getting a piece with the aliens because they won the 3 battles.
Oh, I have an idea. In honor of a video game movie coming out, could we go to the arcade? Remember the one where we got infinite time?
Oh, the infinite. Well,
the Cider Arcade.
Cider Arcade.
Cider Arcade.
Cider Arcade.
Yeah, can we go there?
Yeah, they did have a lot of stuff for sure. Or we could do Nickel-Rama because they have a lot of old games too.
Nickel-Rama.
We could do that.
Could we go to that one where like me and Race went for the church thing? Because that had prizes. It was fun. Any favorite parts or moments that stood out to you, Zeke?
So the trophies were definitely amazing. Like Duck Hunt, I grew up, there's a Super Smash Bros. Level of Duck Hunt. I loved that thing to death. I would actually die for it. It was amazing. And Centipede and Cubert, he's just so adorable. And then the way it was like, and the way like he cursed, there was like a bull crap. That was funny.
Jonathan?
I just thought all of the graphics were really, really fun. The way that they built when they drew people up into the ship to like capture them, how their bodies split apart into like little bits, 8 bits, that was cool. And then just the way that the design of all the Centipede, the Galaga, all that stuff was just so epic to see in real life. And I think the best of all was Pac-Man driving through the streets of, I think it was Chicago, and then using the mini cruisers as the ghosts. I thought that was just super clever and so much fun. I think the movie was just a fun ride, and it's not going to win any Oscars. That's a phrase that you'll hear often. Like, it wasn't trying to. It was just trying to be a silly, fun movie. And I think Adam Sandler has a very unique style of humor, and this one utilized that, but didn't take it too far. And so it's a really nice and approachable to be able to just laugh at his silliness. But yeah, I really liked the movie. And I think my favorite part had to have been, just the Pac-Man scene was just so much fun.
Yeah. Connor?
I think a funny part is whenever the aliens are talking, they look like AI. And I don't know if they actually use an AI or what.
I think they were trying to look like AI.
But also today, I got an ad like about the Wordle where you like combine the things. And there was a guy at the top showing you how to do it, and he was AI. I was like, this guy's AI.
Good that you can know the difference.
You could just like tell by the way they like move. It's like slow kind of, and they're talking weird, and they like stay positioned and blinking.
Yeah.
All right, Zeke, you wanted to add something?
Yes, I want to talk about Lady
It's her,
Doja.
Lady Lisa.
Lady Lisa? That's
Left.
her? Oh, I see her. Yeah. Nice.
So you have a crush on Lady Lisa?
She's hot.
No, I just wanted,
I just wanted to say something
wanted to
about
say that Ludlow and Lady Lisa, I ship it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Lady Lisa, will you go on a date with me?
Yeah, that was pretty epic though, that he had a crush on this video game girl for his entire life, and then he ends up getting to be with her at the end of the movie. That was pretty fun. One thing I did want to mention, just to kind of clarify for everybody, the way that the aliens presented their challenges was they used 80s TV shows and commercials and the characters in those, and then just changed their faces and mouths to say what they wanted to say to the humans. But that's why it looked like it was a little odd, because it was meant to be like they're manipulating our old videotapes with their messages. So pretty cool.
My favorite part is, I don't have a part, but my favorite thing about the movie is like how all the characters look. It's just like, it's really cool. Like how they're 8-bit, but still 3D.
I was going to say that Eddie is based off this real life guy who got a lot of Guinness World Records on video games, and he got oofed because they found out that he did that.
He was cheating.
And he used a bunch of cheat codes. So yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that's true. I don't know that specifically about this movie, but there is a movie about the longest reigning Donkey Kong champion. And one of the guys, there was a documentary about it, and the guy that was like the long running champion was like really much of a jerk to everybody else. He thought he was all that, and he was not. And then you're supposed to record, like you're supposed to be in person when you submit like your world record like win, and he did it via VHS, and it was like totally unfair because he could have doctored the tape to make it look like it, and he did show up. And so the guy that was like trying to win, he won, and then this guy sent in the VHS, and so it was like very fishy. But yeah, it's a really good documentary about Donkey Kong, which I think inspired this story from Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Time
It's good.
to rate it.
Let's go.
This time we will do youngest to oldest.
Youngest.
Okay, youngest to oldest.
All right, I rate it a 3.5. It's not that great.
I give it a 4.5.
I give it 4.
I gave it a 4.
So the median is a 4. Thank you guys for watching this episode, and we'll be back. And Zeke or Connor,
I wanted to say something.
Dochi.
I beat in Minecraft like 2 weeks ago. Just wanted to say that. Yeah. Yeah, where's my medal?
Does Minecraft
nice.
have grapes on it?
And we have a whole bunch of Legos upstairs, so that's epic. And we play Fortnite all the time, which is like free, guys. So we're a part of these movies.
I officially quit Fortnite. I'm probably going to be back in next season, though.
It is next season.
Everybody, we're going to be finished. And Zeke, cut to you.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, Krabs.
Friendly gesture.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, just a reminder, you can check out all of our links at bio.site/moviesthatmakeyou. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. But until next time, keep watching movies.